What's up, y'all? And welcome to another episode of Fourth and Wine. It is week 9. We just played the Jaguars and we came out with a win. We're going to be talking a little bit about the win, a little bit about how the game went, and we'll be trying another white wine this week. So keep listening. You're checking out Fourth and Wine. All right. Let's get into this wine really quickly. So we're going to be trying, Lord, forgive my French. We are going to be trying a Chateau Roquet Mauriac. It is a white wine from the Bordeaux region of France. The bottle is all green. Very simple bottle, all green, white and green label. It looks very Christmassy, if I'm being honest. But there's a picture of a winery on the front with a green background. Very cute, very fitting, very demure. But it's green, like eagles. Okay, period. Anyway, it is from France. It is from the Bordeaux region. And its wine color is yellow, golden. It's like a wheat color. Let's smell it. So it smells, of course, very fruity, like a lot of white wines do. It smells like pears, peaches, grapefruits. It smells really nice, actually. So the bottle says that this pairs very well with shellfish, grilled fish, goat cheeses. So I guess whip out your charcuterie boards, So let's test it and try it out. That first sip hit me in the face. It is a little drier than most wines, but this is very acidic, as most white wines are. But also, this wine has a lot of alcohol in it. How much? 13.5% alcohol, and you can taste it. So if you're trying to chill, watch the game, get groovy, I say try this. It'll get you where you need to be without taking you over the top, okay? But this wine is really good. Mainly it is made up of a Sauvignon Blanc variety, which is one of my favorites. And it has a little bit of Sauvignon Gris. A Sauvignon Gris, which still comes from the Bordeaux region, but it is a variation of the Sauvignon Blanc. Looking at this, spinning it around, letting the aromas come out, doesn't have a ton of legs on it, which means that it kind of drips down the glass, but still very good. All right, let's get into the game recap. So, really quick, let's just talk about it. So, the Eagles won yesterday. The score was 28-23. And I'm going to run down like a few stats from the game. So, the Eagles were 0 for 2 on fourth down. Jalen got sacked 3 times. He had a 75% completion rate, which kudos. Shout out to Jalen. The Eagles had 1 turnover during the game, which was a fumble from Saquon Barkley, a contested fumble. A lot of people said the refs didn't make the right call. However you see it, it is what it is. It was a fumble. We lost the ball, and it changed the momentum of the game. However, let's talk a little bit about some of the big plays from yesterday's game. Saquon Barkley with an explosive day. That guy is amazing. He had 2 touchdowns, a receiving and a rushing touchdown, and rushed for 159 yards. Saquon is unbelievable. Then let's talk about Devontae Smith. Devontae always coming in clutch. He made a big play on 3rd and 22 for an Eagles touchdown with a one-handed catch, giving very much Odell Beckham. But you know, our guy, Devontae, he got a different swagger about him. I will say this. For Devontae Smith not to be the go-to guy on our team, like he is not the go-to wide receiver. A.J. Brown is. My man can play football and he's going to catch a ball. I don't care where you put it. He's catching it. And he going to toe tap, inbounds, and get the TD. He got that touchdown. He received for 87 yards yesterday. And let's talk a little bit about defense, right? Zach motherfucking Bond. Zach Bond with 10 tackles. You can't make that up. I would have never expected the type of production we're getting from Zach Bond. And that guy is unbelievable. Vic Fangio said it. The first guy on defense that he talked about was Zach Bond. And he flew under the radar during training camp. People wasn't talking too much about him. Maybe a little bit of chatter here and there. He's been playing lights out all season long. He's making tackles. He's making plays. Now, last but very much not least, Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean with the interception at the end of the game to seal the win. It saved us. And y'all, if y'all watch the game, y'all know that interception saved us. The Jags were at the 13-yard line and they were moving up the field very nicely, converting and making their way happily up the field with less than 2 minutes to go. But thank God for Nakobe for catching the interception in the end zone to save the game on a first down drive. He also had 2 tackles. Nakobe, have yourself a day. Now, see, we signed Devin White. And, you know, it was supposed to be Devin White's year. He was going to be our starter. And then all of a sudden, the tides changed. And I don't know why the tides changed, but watching Nakobe play over the last few weeks, I can see what the coaches saw in him. His development, his growth this year has been outstanding. Everyone was ready to call him a bust, but I don't think we're there yet. I do not think we're there yet. It took good coaching, consistent coaching, and just some time. Just some time for the Georgia Bulldog to really get his footing and start making plays. I've liked what I've seen from Nakobe Dean over the last few weeks. I won't say that I've always felt that way about him, but I'm liking where this is going. Now, I wanted to touch a little bit on Saquon because Saquon made a superhuman play. Bro, I've never seen the athleticism in a running back ever. Saquon Barkley juking players, spin moving, and hurdling over defenders backwards. Bro, I tried doing a jump earlier because I was excited. I hurt my knees. This guy is unreal. Now, during the offseason, what did I think of Saquon coming to Philadelphia? I'll say this. So if you listen to any of the earlier shows, I'd admit I was not 100% sold on him coming here. And it wasn't because I didn't think Saquon was a great player, phenomenal player. I just was like, we've got solid running backs. They can get the job done. We got Kenny Gainwell. We got Boston Scott. And most importantly, we had DeAndre Swift. I'm like, they can succeed in this offense with this line. Why do we need to go and pay Saquon? I'm like, he probably wants a huge contract. The Eagles already paid Jalen. They extended AJ, Devontae, and then we got to pay Saquon. Like, I don't want our team to get in a position where we can't get good talent because we're capped. But see, now Howie said to me, he said, don't check his pockets. He said, don't check me, check the air quality, okay? Because Saquon was worth every penny. Didn't ask for a lot, not to me, in the grand scheme of NFL contracts, for the amount of talent and production that he brings. He's different. He is different. The fire, the explosiveness he brings to this game, insane. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about Jalen Hurts. I watched some clips from the post-game presser, and they're like, Jalen, you know, we realize you have a knack for the deep ball. And I'm pretty sure he was someone from the radio station that I actually listen to and enjoy listening to often. But he says, you know, Jalen, how do you explain having a knack for throwing the deep ball? And Jalen was like, I'm actually shocked to even hear you say that. I never heard that before. Jalen was being shady. Jalen was saying, y'all thought I couldn't throw. Now, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I think Jalen has an arm, but with the amount of turnovers over the last 2 seasons, it is a bit concerning. But this is what I think of Jalen. I think he has all the keys, tools to be a great quarterback. But what I'm noticing in him right now is that he's evolving and learning what works for him in this new offense. My guy, I will say it again, my guy has been through multiple offensive coordinators, 3 to be exact. Him getting comfortable, understanding that he has the weapons around him. One in his friend AJ Brown. You've got Devontae. You've got Saquon. You got one of the best offensive lines in the league. When Dallas Goedert is healthy, you have him. You don't need to do it all alone. And I'm glad the offense is moving in that direction where they realize like Jalen doesn't have to do it all by himself. He's not a lone wolf out there. He is not a lone wolf. So I'm enjoying watching him trusting himself a lot more, getting comfortable, watching his pocket presence, watching how he moves through his progressions. Everything didn't click yesterday. Everything didn't click. He missed AJ Brown on a throw from what I can remember. But everything won't always click. Not even with Patrick Mahomes, who's probably like the greatest quarterback in the league right now and on track to becoming the next legend in football as a quarterback. Everything doesn't always click, and you're not always going to be on 10 all the time. But watching him week by week by week after this bye just progress and get stronger and better, I'm loving it. Let's talk about something that happened in a game yesterday that is a bit concerning for me, and not from a play standpoint. We'll get into that a little bit later. But AJ Brown. AJ Brown left the game yesterday and did not return. There haven't been any updates yet as of today. Today is Monday. So it's a bit concerning, but watching Nick Sirianni's press conference today, he said AJ looked happy. He looked good in the locker room. So hopefully that is promising, and AJ's injury isn't too much. Maybe just a little rest, a little rehab, and he'll be back to go and back out there on Sunday. But without AJ Brown, the Eagles have a losing record. I believe this season we are 1-2 without AJ Brown. So if he is hurt, that is a bit concerning. I think it as much as we are beginning to find our identity as a football team and using Saquon Barkley a lot more and learning to run the ball, AJ is a big part of this offense. I call the team Saquon's team, like Diana Ross and the Supreme, Saquon and the Eagles, but also AJ Brown and the Eagles. Like, this is AJ's team as well. And I am praying that he's okay and wishing him all the best. Now, the chatter of the town today. Everyone's been asking me all day about this and asking me what I think. So I'm gonna let you in. I'm gonna let you in on what I think about this. The talk of the town today is Mr. Nick Sirianni, Coach Sirianni. So, Nick has been a bit aggressive all season. A lot of people feel like he's left some points on the board and he set his team up for too close for comfort games and puts the team in a position where now you got to fight. You got to have your defense come and win it for you. And I don't disagree. I think he definitely put us in some positions yesterday that caused us to have to fight back. But it's like, it's a part of me that still thinks some of it is a bit situational. So let's talk about a few instances that everyone hated. Or let me recap. So in the game against the Atlanta Falcons, we lost. First loss of the season, 22-21. It was a close game in the fourth quarter, and we lost it in the last 2 minutes. So the Eagles have the ball. It's under 2 minutes to go. It's 18-15 Eagles. So we're up 3. We make it into the red zone. And it's 3rd and 3. We're just trying to get in the end zone at this point. And we run a short pass, like a screen pass to Saquon, and Saquon drops the ball. People were pissed. Everyone's like, yo, on 3rd and 3, why don't you run the ball? And I mean, why don't you? I mean, I get the sentiment. But I've said it before, and I'll say this again. You only hate the play, and you only hate him, dancing around and being aggressive in these moments because it didn't work out. And I kind of agree a little bit with that sentiment. So it was 3rd and 3. He ran a short pass to Saquon. Jalen Hurts ran a short pass to Saquon. Saquon drops the ball. That could have been game right there. We could have won the game after that. I didn't hate the play. Saquon, unfortunately, needed to execute, and he didn't. He had an open lane into the end zone. He had to catch that ball. But now, yesterday, some of the moments people didn't like. Second quarter, Eagles are up 16-0. And let's also talk about that. Defense held the Jaguars to 0-0 in the first half. Eventually, your defense is going to give up some points. This is the NFL. The Jaguars going to score something. They leaving here with something. Whether it be 3 points, a field goal, our defense is probably going to give something up. But anyway, second quarter, the Eagles are up 16-0 after Saquon scored his second touchdown of the game. And the Eagles go for 2. I didn't mind it. Your defense has been holding the Jaguars to nothing. Go for 2. Why not? Do it. Hey, let's have fun. Let's try it out. Cool. Problem is, the play was trash. And it failed. You didn't get the 2 points. So now it's like, dang, well, we should have just kicked it because Jake Elliott is more conservative. Jake's probably going to make it. And you'll get the 1. You'll get 1 point. But here, I'm not upset yet. You wish you had those points, but I'm not upset here. Then after the half in the third quarter, Jalen runs it in for a touchdown, and the Eagles go for 2 points again. Now I'm like, he being real aggressive. What are you doing? Okay. Still, the Jaguars have 0 points. So I'm not that upset about this. I'm like, cool, we up. But then it's like, bruh, Nick, Coach Sirianni, it didn't work before. Do you trust it again? Sure, let's go for it. What the heck? And it failed. The 2-point conversion failed. Now we're still up. It's 22-0. 0. And the problem really arose for me with him being very aggressive was after the Devontae Smith touchdown, we still went for 2 points. It's just like, we've had a very unsuccessful day with converting on 4th down, with 2-point conversions. The tush push isn't working as much this season. You called a poor play and there was poor execution. In these moments, you got to take the points. So now you're like, come on, I'd take the points any day. But he didn't. He thought that was the best decision for his team at the time. And sure. But then you get in a tight situation where you're only up 1 possession. And now you need your defense to go out there and get a stop. And you know what happened in the Falcons game. I think it's a little PTSD, and I'm sorry if that offends anyone, but I think it's a little PTSD from the Falcons game where our defense gave it up in the last minute of the game. Now, am I calling for Coach Sirianni's job? No. Realistically, when we noticed that the 2-point conversions were not working, we probably should have moved on from it. But however you view it, I just think his game managing in many aspects is just not the best. Now, a few things I'll say concerned me about this week's game, and I'm nitpicking for real. I think it's just some cleanups. But Saquon has got to hold on to the ball. The team has got to hold on to the ball. I said before going in, now if you watch and follow me at For the Birds Sports on Instagram, you would know in my quick slants, I said a turnover would cost us the game. And it did. It almost cost us the game, for real. Also, penalties. The penalties were irritating. It's just like 8 penalties for 67 yards. The penalties got us in some unpleasant field positions. And that's just practice. That's just coaching. That's knowing the play. That's knowing the snap count. That's knowing how to cover a receiver properly. I'm nitpicking, y'all. I am nitpicking. But the penalties got to me because they were happening in critical moments. One happened on the third down. It's just clean those things up. That's just basics in football. Now, I think overall the Eagles have played outstanding football since the bye. This has looked like a playoff team. They've shown a lot of promise. They have been in some less desirable situations and they've come out on the other end. Now, whether that's from coaching, execution, I think it's a combination of it all. But they have gotten the job done. Defense, since the bye, has been playing lights out over the last few games. Now, TBD, because we still got some other opponents. I think there's some more elite opponents that we have to play, like the Ravens, which will really be the true test of how well this defense is and how well we handle adversity. But enjoy this. Enjoy these wins right now. And I'm talking more so about the players. Enjoy the wins. Get your confidence up. Get the momentum going. It make you feel good. It gives you the confidence to go out there and be like, yo, nobody's messing with me on the field when it comes to this. And confidence is part of the battle. Now, week 10 is coming up and y'all already know what week it is. It's Dallas week. Okay, it is officially Dallas week for us. We celebrate the whole week. We get hyped the whole week before we play Dallas. But I'm gonna be real. Usually this is a very exciting time. We're playing, our NFC East opponent. Usually both of our teams are fighting for the division, fighting for the number 1 spot. But this season, the Cowboys have sucked. And Dak, I tell you, they sucked. If y'all ain't see that clip going around online, Dak knows they suck. They know they suck. They've really struggled this season. They've struggled with securing the ball. Only 4 turnovers, but 12 fumbles. 12 instances where you couldn't protect the ball. And let's be real. Dak has a 60% completion rate right now. I think Dak needs to play outstanding ball. I feel like they haven't really found their identity. What kind of team are you going to be? They've got patchwork. I'm not going to say patchwork. That's not a good word. I heard someone say that word. That's not a good word. Dalvin Cook, I thought, was going to come in and, really shake things up for them. But their run game is non-existent. They don't have it. They don't use it. I don't know. But also, they've been hit with the injury bug. They've got a few guys injured right now. They got Micah Parsons. He's out. Deron Bland, their DB, their corner. He's out. CeeDee Lamb is a bit banged up. He's dealing with, I believe, a shoulder injury, and it's week to week, kind of how we were dealing with the week to week with Darius Slay. And then the biggest one of them all, which is a shocker going into week 10, going into Dallas. Dak Prescott is injured. He will be out for a few weeks with a hamstring injury. So more than likely we will be playing against Cooper Rush. Maybe they'll put out Trey Lance. I don't know. But I watched Cooper Rush and Jalen Hurts play against each other. I feel like it's not too often that Jalen and Dak Prescott play each other. I feel like there's been just a few times, like 1 or 2 times that they've actually played each other. One or the other usually out injured. But I watched the Eagles play Cooper Rush at home at the Link in the 2022 season, I believe it was. And he was cooking a little bit, But this is a new team, new coordinators. So I'm excited to see what we put out on the field in Dallas. I mean, the Eagles in Dallas at home were pretty solid against the Cowboys. But on their turf, we have not beaten them since November of 2017. That is insane. That was before the pandemic. We have not beaten the Cowboys on their turf. We've beaten them here. They've beaten us here. But we have not beaten them in years. So I'm hoping we can go to Dallas and get the win. But if we're going off history, eesh. And let's talk about week 10. We play on Sunday and we play again on Thursday. The NFL really set us up this season. Like, the schedule is trash. It might not be a difficult schedule, but it's just trash as far as recovery, game times. Because on Thursday, we're playing another NFC East opponent, the Commanders. And the Commanders have been cooking this season. Granted, they haven't played us yet. But usually when the Commanders that's an easy 2 wins for us. It's not looking that way this season. So we can't afford to have a split with the Cowboys. We can't afford to lose one game against the Cowboys. And we need to beat the Commanders because we want to be number one in our division. I think if we're number one in our division, that's promising for our playoff hopes. I think having week 10, having a game on Sunday and then one on Thursday, we're going to be tired. So going into the Commanders game, I'm definitely iffy about. The team might be a little banged up, sore, because it's a short week. But I'm hoping they can rally together and get things right. But anyway, comment on this video. Let me know what y'all think. How are y'all feeling after week 9's win? Do you think it should have been a win in a bag, signed, seal? We should have been able to pull away from the Jaguars early on? Or is this just football and a win is a win? Let me know what you think. Comment under the YouTube video. Make sure you subscribe, listen, tell your friends. And if you get a chance, go to Total Wine and grab this Bordeaux white, the Chateau Roquet Mauriac 2022. Delicious wine. I'm telling you, to get you there. It's got me feeling a little warm. But until next time, thanks for listening. Love y'all. I'm out.